You know it's super early if I'm wearing my robe. What is up, you guys? How are you all doing out there? I hope you're doing super awesome. Well, like I mentioned a few videos ago, this month is all about complexion products because all of these brands are coming in hot with all the launches, and I couldn't be more excited, honestly. So in case you didn't hear, Bite Beauty actually just came out with their first complexion product range, which is super exciting. They have always been like a lip-centered makeup line. I think that's actually all they came out, all different types of lip products. They are cruelty-free and they are considered like a clean beauty brand, which if that's something that interests you, it's always great to have another option on the market. So today I will be testing out some of the new products that just came out. So they are the Changemaker products. I got the Changemaker foundation and the Changemaker skin optimizing primer in the normal to dry range. We're gonna be testing it out. We're gonna be seeing how the blendability is, how the pigmentation is, how much coverage you get, and how the wear time is, because sometimes we be looking really good, really cute, and then a few hours later it's all sliding off our face, and that's no good at all, quite frankly. So we're gonna be testing all of that out today. I do want to mention, if you are new to my channel, new to my face, new to this mug right here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing at any point in time in this video. Of course, you do not have to decide right now. You can watch for a little bit and see if we jive together. If you subscribe, you might get notified when I post more videos, which is about 3 times a week, and I would just love to have you part of my fam bam. So enough jibber jabbing, enough about all of that. If you want to see me try out this foundation and this primer and compare it to another primer and see if the primer is even necessary, then you're in the right place. And all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. Now, I did some experimenting with this foundation already that I'll show you guys. This is gonna be my second day using it here on camera with you guys, but yesterday I actually wanted to try out this product in like a way that you guys could really see how the coverage is. Now, normally I like to conceal my discoloration on my cheeks before I go in with the foundation, but I know not everybody does that. So I wanted to show you right here what it looks like with just the foundation, no pre-concealer, and this is on top of their skin optimizing primer. And also I wanted to test out the ability of a sponge versus a brush. You're getting a little 2-for-1 testing right here first. So with the sponge side, obviously it's a little bit lighter of a coverage, not by much, but just a little bit. And on the brush side, it's more of like a true medium coverage in my opinion. You can see some of my discoloration still popping through, some of my freckles. So if you like that more skin-like finish, you're gonna achieve that more so with that. Now, based off of initial first application, I do personally enjoy the application better of the brush because not only was it faster to apply, but I just feel like it sets into my skin a little bit better. Over here with the sponge side, I feel like I look a little bit more textured around my pores and like my upper lip area, where the brush application just looks a little bit smoother, which might be surprising to you because sponges can tend to, you know, soften and smooth a little bit better. But of course, with the sponge, you're gonna get a lighter finish, less coverage, and with the brush, you get a little more full coverage. So maybe subconsciously that's what I'm seeing because I like a more full coverage. I wanna test out the abilities of this foundation. This is something that I would choose to do over here, but of course, it's up to you and your personal preference. I like the versatility of this product so far, so that's going really nicely. Today, I will be going in with a brush just because like I said, I liked the finish of that a little bit better. I like the more fuller coverage, but I know this is not meant to be full coverage, so I'm not gonna try to make it that way, but I like that as high of coverage that I can get. And of course, I will be covering up the discoloration on my cheeks because that, again, is just my personal preference. I feel like my products on top of my skin just look a little bit smoother, but you know, again, do what you want to do, of course. I just wanted to give you guys some different options and different feelings. Today, we are going to be doing one more test though, because I really want to see if this primer is worth the price point. The primer itself is $38. It came in a normal to dry or normal to oily, which I like the idea of that, them creating a primer that specifically meshes with their foundations, but I don't necessarily love if you have to have the primer, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be testing out their primer on one side and then my favorite babe on the other side that has very similar ingredients and seems like it can mesh the same way with the foundation, because I try to look up like, you know, similarities, silicones and all of that. With that being said, on this side of my face, I will be using the Covergirl True Blend Moisturizing Primer, and on this side of my face will be the Bite Skin Optimizing Primer in the normal to dry formula. So we'll see how those compare throughout the day and if they really make a difference. I do have dry skin, so that's why I opted for the more moisturizing formula, of course, but if you're more oily, you can go with that one. Now I do want to say I was sent this Covergirl primer in PR way long ago, like during the summer, and I have loved it ever since. Now I'm going to go in with the Bite Changemaker Skin Optimizing Primer, and they both are white. They both have a very similar feel too, which I thought was interesting. Of course, it's worth mentioning that the Bite Beauty should be more clean. I don't know a lot about ingredients. I just kind of look them up as I'm like trying to match them to my primers and foundations and everything. But technically, the Bite Beauty will probably be cleaner. So I'm not saying the Covergirl 100% will be like, you know, a dupe or anything. I just want to see if it's worth it just as far as performance and everything goes, not necessarily ingredients and long-term effects on the skin, if you know what I mean. Oh, that feels so nice though. They both feel so nice. They both feel so nice. They both feel so similar and so nice. Now I'm gonna pop on some concealer onto my cheeks really quickly, and then we're gonna go in with foundation. This foundation retails for $39.50, so it is a pretty penny, definitely. A couple specifications about this. I picked mine up in stores at Sephora, but it's also available online, and I picked up the shade L25, which is a light shade with warm golden undertones, which is weird. I usually go with a light with neutral undertones, but this one actually just matched me so much better, so I went with that. And in total, it's available in 32 different shades. Like I said, it's supposed to be about a medium coverage, light to medium, depending on how much you build it and what techniques you use, sponge versus brush and everything. But we are just going to pop that right on top of that concealer and all over. Now after I apply my foundation with a brush, I go in with an ever so slightly dampened beauty sponge. So I'm taking this one today and I'm just gently pressing the product in. That way, if there's anything that's a little too much, it'll help to absorb that and blend it out. Always want to make sure I press around my nose because that area will get kind of like rolled and creased if I don't blend it out enough. All right, I'm up close a little bit more so you can see the coverage of everything. And it's also been 5 minutes since I applied everything. I let everything wait because I wanted to see, was this necessary to set with a powder or not? And yeah, for me it is, because it is slightly sticky. I'm sure if you let it sit a little bit longer, it might go down a little bit more, but I don't like any kind of wetness or stickiness feeling on my face. So I will be setting it today, but I just wanted to show you the coverage. I think it's absolutely beautiful like this. It's a nice medium, almost full coverage since I concealed ahead of time on my cheeks, and it looks just absolutely gorgeous. It looks like my skin, but way, way, way better. It looks glowy. It feels like it meshed into my skin nicely. And it's beautiful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and conceal just in a couple areas like around my eyes and stuff to brighten, and then I'm gonna set it with my normal setting powder that I really like to use, and that's the It Cosmetics by Porous Press powder, because it's not too drying on my skin and it's just really nice. So I'll be right back and I'll show you what that looks like before I continue on. Now, after my concealer and setting powder, this is looking pretty full coverage. I see like a couple freckles peeking through, but wow, I didn't expect that, especially after using it yesterday, but I think that concealer right there it helped a lot, making it look a little bit more full. So I do like the versatility of it already. I like that you can get it really lightweight with just a really damp sponge, blend it out, or you can build it up all the way to full coverage depending on concealers and stuff that you're gonna pair with it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Also, it seems to have blended into my skin very nicely, where it doesn't look like, hey, she has a mask of foundation on. It looks like my skin looks really healthy and just nice. So I'm digging that. I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my makeup and we will see how everything looks with that, and then we're gonna go into a wear test, baby. So be right back. Wow, these lashes and lippies really took this look to a whole like glam look, but you can see how versatile the foundation can be. Pretty cool. One thing to take notice of when we do the whole 8-hour wear test is this side right here with the Covergirl primer is looking a little bit strange. Yeah, almost like it's sitting weird on my cheeks, where the side with the Bite Beauty primer looks totally smooth and fine. So it's worth noting. I'll also show you what this makeup is looking like shot on my iPhone in more natural sunlight, so you can see how that is all going. Okay, I think it is time for me to finish getting dressed, go about my day, and then I will check back in with you guys after it's been 8 hours and we'll see how everything held up. Well, I'll be, you guys, It has been over 8 hours since I first applied everything, and and everything is looking really good. So for a minute, just ignore these little indentions that I have on my nose right now. I just picked up my daughter from school and I get them for my sunglasses. They like push too hard. So don't look at that, but let's look at the rest of the face here. So I am not looking greasy at all. I do have a little bit of luminosity that came through in my skin and it's looking really pretty. My skin looks even more healthy, just nice. The coverage maintained everywhere. Nothing's rubbed off. It looks beautiful, but there is something to be said about the differences in primers. So on this side right here, I have, of course, the By Beauty primer, and I feel like it is looking better than the Covergirl side. So I am a little bit bummed about that, honestly. I mean, I would rather save the like 20 bucks in difference, but it is what it is. It's what we're testing here. You can see around my nose in particular, it's looking really powdery, almost, dare I say, crusty like. So I don't like that situation. And then when I look up close, it's just a little bit more netted, almost like a netted look. And I'm starting to look a little more textured over here just because I feel like maybe it's just not adhering, you know, to that primer the same way. I mean, it's not made necessarily for it, so that could be exactly why. Here, it just looks more skin-like. I mean, it's kind of like a fraction of a difference. I think if you were, you know, just talking to me in person from a normal distance, you probably wouldn't notice it. But because I'm comparing them side by side and like really analyzing it, up close, I see a difference. So for me, the primer would be worth it for that one. Of course, I'm gonna be experimenting with the primer with other foundations too and making sure that it's worth it for me to invest in, and also pairing other primers with this foundation because hey, that's just what I do. That's what I like to like get down to the nitty gritty. But I think if you're looking for a good clean line of foundation and primers, this is beautiful. I loved the versatility of the coverage. I like that you could use a sponge to get that light coverage, so if you want to do it really quickly on the go, and you can build it all the way up to getting this full coverage if you do some concealer ahead of time. So I love that. I am super impressed by Beauty. Good job to you guys. Good job to you. All right, you guys, that is it for my review, first impressions portion, or second impressions, whatever you want to call it. I want to know from you guys though, is this something that you'd be interested in? What do you think about the whole primer situation? What are you feeling about this foundation? Does this fit your bill? Do you think that this is something that would work for you? Sound off in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. Let's get a chat. If you are new to my channel and this is the first time you stumbled upon my face, or maybe it's the third or fourth video you've watched and you haven't committed yet, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. That way you get notified when I post more videos, which is about 3 times a week, and I would love to have you part of my little fam bam here. I would love it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that every single one of you out there, every single one of you, yes, you, go out there and have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful day.